Hello everyone, Busaba Studios again with another video. Now today I'm actually going to be going on with another update, or more of a recent update that Survive in the Facility 51 has posted. Yes, I am making a video talking about this game again after literal months after the last time I even touched this game. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really been playing this game as much since then, like since the Christmas update, considering I have completely lost full interest in that game. And there's multiple reasons why that I lost interest in this game that I'll get into in a separate video in the future if I ever decide to make a video about this game again. But as of now, I'm specifically making a video talking about the recent crafting update. Yes, you can now craft weapons in this game now, which is honestly interesting. I didn't really think that would ever be the case for a game like this, but here we are, I guess. I'm gonna go over to every single weapon that is, available for you guys to, do extra stuff to craft the weapons you want to get. While some crafting weapons are easy to get, there are some that are just really, really hard to get. And I'm not gonna really make a guide to how to get these weapons. Those will be for like separate videos. Again, if I ever make videos about this game again, because again, I don't really like this game as much anymore. But I thought I'd make a video talking about the crafting update. So let's get started with the crafting weapons. The first crafting weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the Sword of the Seeds. To craft it, you need the TX8, the Excalibur, and the Ruler's Trident. Now, this is one of the more easier crafting recipes to get, considering the Excalibur. All you gotta do is just simply, go to the hidden ghost room that you can find by simply going through a parkour after, and dropping down inside, the fountain in the entrance. And the TXA is also pretty easy to get to. All you gotta do is find another another obstacle course room where you have to deal with robots, along with avoiding, death laser beam floors, and then you can just simply get the TXA once you get to the end. And the ruler trial is also easy to get as well, considering all you have to do is kill the ruler boss, who is really one of the easiest bosses in the game. Now, the the weapon itself, the Sword of the Seas, it's definitely the worst crafted weapon in the entire game. It is simply a melee weapon, which the damage itself is good, but it also has an extra ability where it summons a wave that also deals damage to enemies, but it only summons one wave, so that's pretty much it. Definitely the worst crafting weapon in my opinion, considering it's just a sword that just summons one wave. But it's something, I guess. Again, it isn't easy to craft weapon, so I guess that's why it's the worst, because how easy it is to craft. Alright, now the next crafting weapon I'm going to be talking about is the Dual Pack-a-Punch SLR. Now, this is easily actually my most favorite of the other crafting weapons so far, simply because of how fun it is to actually use. Now, to get this thing, you need the Pack-a-Punch SLR and the Pack-a-Punch Elks. Now obviously they're Pack-a-Punch versions, so you need to get the normal version of the SLR and the normal version of the Elks. The Elks is simply pretty easy to get. All you have to do is go find the hidden boss, which all you gotta do is go to you just gotta go back to the spawn point to where you spawn at. You just gotta simply find the hidden, portal to fight the secret boss, kill the boss, which, by the way, he is a pretty easy boss, and then boom, you get the Elks. Now, the SLR is more harder to get, considering you have to find another hidden obstacle course, which is basically one of the harder ones, because you gotta avoid, basically you gotta jump over lasers and avoid getting killed by red lasers, because they insta-kill you. Now, once you get those two weapons, you simply have to go to the Pack-a-Punch room, which you need a lot of points in order to even use the Pack-a-Punch to begin with. Once you Pack-a-Punch both weapons, you can actually go ahead and craft it. And it's not only one of the really good crafting weapons, it's also the most fun one in my opinion. A dual laser gun that not only do you have two laser guns that are actually really good and can actually kill quite fast, they also have a special ability where your character will just start spinning around and fucking shooting purple orbs, killing everything in its path. It's actually really fun. I like that. But anyways, that's really all I gotta say about, well, the Pack-a-Punch dual-wielded FLS, if I pronounced it correctly. Now, the next crafting weapon is actually not a weapon. It's actually armor. Yes, you can craft an armor in this game. This particular one is fusion armor. Now, fusion armor is actually one of the best armors in the game after actually getting it and trying it out. Basically, what it does is that it gives you more speed, regeneration, and jump power. Now, in order to get this thing, you're going to need the regen coil, the amethyst, whatever the last name is, and then you need the gravity armor piece, and you need the curse armor piece. Now, to get the regen coil, you just simply need to go to the shop, and then once you have enough points, boom, you get it. Now, that amethyst laser sword, again, you have to go to the parkour, the red laser parkour. No, not the red laser obstacle course. And then once you go ahead, once you pretty much go ahead, you actually have to go to a different route this time, and you gotta deal with enemies while avoiding red laser of death in order to get that red laser sword. And you also gotta pack a punch it too because it's the pack a punch version. Now for the armor pieces. Now for the gravity armor piece, you actually can craft it in the crafting room by simply, well, finding the gravity armor, which you can just simply get by going to the shop. If you got enough points, you can purchase it. Now the cursed armor piece is actually a different story. To even get the cursed armor to begin with, you actually need to go to the cursed dimension, which is an event that you need to wait for. Once the curse portal opens, you can go ahead and enter in and simply find it. Be careful, you gotta deal with enemies too, and they're not easy to deal with. But once you get the curse armor, you can just craft the curse armor piece. And once you get those pieces, you can just simply get the fusion armor. And the fusion armor is actually really good. Not only are you slightly more faster, but you jump higher and you actually get better regeneration, better passive regeneration. Overall, definitely one of the best armor in the game, but honestly, I think the future armor is better because of, well, again, it gives you the same defense as the future armor, not to mention that passive ability where you get a shield if you ever take any sort of damage if it's ready. Next crafting weapon. The next crafting weapon is the Chromatic Blaster. This is easily one of the hardest ones to get considering how much work you have to do just to get this thing. In order to craft it, you're going to need a Chroma Flare, which drops off the Chroma boss, one of the harder bosses in the game. And then the next thing you want is the Cursed Tommy Gun, which you get it from the Cursed Dimension. Then we get the Cyber Shuriken, which you get it from killing the Cyber Attack boss, who is actually quite challenging now. And then you got the Rail Runner, which you simply have to get it from doing another obstacle course, which is actually less forgiving now, ever since it got like an overhaul update, which I'm glad, because holy shit, the old version of that obstacle course was just insufferable at best. But yeah, now obviously the railgun might be hard to get, and the Cyber Shuriken might be challenging to get too. Now obviously the Cursed Tommy Gun is not that hard to get. You just gotta, go to the Cursed Dimension, which again is an event that you gotta wait for. And if you have good weapons, you can easily overpower enemies that go to your path. And all you gotta do is just simply find it, and there you go. You get the Cursed Tommy Gun. Now, the Chroma Flare is easily the hardest one to get, considering you have to kill Chroma, literally one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. But once you get all those four stuff, you can craft the Chromatic Blaster. And the Chromatic Blaster is easily the best crafting weapon in the entire game. Not only does it hold a shit ton of ammo, but it also deals a lot of damage, and it has splash damage too, so you don't even have to actually properly shoot at the enemies. You just shoot at the ground near them, and the splash damage will do the job. Not to mention, it also has the ability to summon two drones that will also help you kill enemies. So yay, more minions. Easily one of the best weapons and one of the best crafting weapons so far. Actually, it's the best crafting weapon so far. Please, for the love of God, creator this game, do not nerf this thing or else I'm gonna lose it. You already nerfed so many other good guns in this game beforehand. I don't want another amazing weapon to get nerfed to the ground just to make it even more harder to kill bosses. Because bosses are already hard enough to deal with in this game, especially the harder ones. Anyways, next crafting weapon. Alright, the next crafting weapon is called the Blessed, or I like to call it the Blessed Tommy Gun. Now, this is actually a pretty easy one to craft too. All you need is the Cursed Tommy Gun, which you get from the Cursed Dimension by simply finding it there. Again, Cursed Dimension is an event, so you gotta wait for that. And you need the Bright, which you also gotta find it by simply going through another hidden obstacle course, which basically it's like some weird obstacle course we have to avoid getting zapped by some electric stuff. But once you get to the end, you get the bright weapon, and once you get those two things, boom, you can craft the bless. Now the bless is also another really good gun. It's basically a support weapon on steroids. Basically what it does is that it pretty much has the same passive effect ability as the cursed, but it has a special ability and also a new passive. Basically, occasionally when you're shooting at an enemy, you will occasionally heal yourself a pretty decent amount of HP. Not only that, it also has the ability to not heal yourself drastically, but you can also heal your teammates drastically too. Like I said, it's really a support weapon on steroids, because it also has really good damage, and it's really good at healing yourself and your teammates. Yep, really a support weapon on steroids. And definitely the best support weapon too. We cannot forget how dogshit the candy cane minigun is. But anyways, that's all I gotta say about the Bless. Easily one of the also best crafting weapons in the game so far. Now the next crafting weapon is the red laser scythe. This is also a pretty difficult one to get too. You need a laser scythe, which you can just simply get from the shop. The SLR, which again, you need to get it from that red laser obstacle course, which is also hard to do. And then there's that red laser sword this time, which again, you need to get it from the same red laser obstacle course, but you have to take the other path this time. Once you get the three stuff you need, you can just simply craft the red laser scythe. Now, honestly, it doesn't really change this weapon any differently. All it really does is just it does more damage and it gives you an ability to draw it, which that's pretty fun and cool, I guess. But honestly, nothing really much to say about this one. It's basically the better version of the laser scythe. Nothing really much to say about it here. Moving on. The next crafting weapon is the Gravity Disruptor, which is also a pretty challenging one to get. To get this one, you need 4 crafting recipes: the Rail Runner, the Taser, the Gravity Armor Piece, and the Ice Laser. The Rail Runner is basically you have to do that obstacle course that I mentioned before, but again, it's not as bad as it used to be, but still can be quite challenging. Then there's the Taser, which is really located in the same area that you need to go to find the Excalibur. That's just all I needed to say. Gravity Armor Piece, simply just get the Gravity Armor from the shop if you got enough points, and then just simply craft the Armor Piece. Then we got the Ice Laser, where basically you have to do another parkour obstacle course by simply finding it. It's another obstacle course weapon that you need to get by simply completing an obstacle course. I don't think I need to say much there. It's pretty much just another hidden weapon to get by completing an obstacle course. Once you get all these pieces, boom, you get your Gravity Disruptor. Honestly, I don't really know what to say about this one. It's basically just a sniper rifle, but it does have a passive ability though. If the blast radius hits enemies, it'll just simply push them away. That's it. That's really all it does. And it doesn't damage them, it just pushes them away. But I guess if you just want to have fun with a sniper rifle, I guess is the type of weapon you want to use. But honestly, this is just, I don't know. I guess this is just kind of a weapon if you want to mess around with. But I personally don't recommend getting this one if you want to like kill a boss or something, or kill a boss faster. But hey, it's there. Now the last crafting weapon is unfortunately a weapon that I never used because you actually need a game pass in order to be able to craft this thing. So the elements do it the duality. The elements duality. Now in order to get this one you need three crafting recipes. The dual desert eagles, the RSS, and the ice laser. I already explained how to get the ice laser, or at least did a more simple version, so I don't need to explain that one. But the RSS, you basically need to do a lava obstacle course. Basically, you gotta avoid falling in lava while also dealing with enemies. Once you get to the end, you get the RSS. Now, the dual deagles, you actually need a game pass in order to get this weapon. Yes, you need to buy a game pass just to get this weapon, which is really the reason I can't even use this one. I need a game pass just to use it. So I can't really give an opinion about what it does because, again, I need a fucking Game Pass. Oh well. That's pretty much all I gotta say about this update. Again, I'll probably do a guide to how to even get these weapons if I ever make videos about this game again. Because again, I don't really play this game as much anymore, and I don't even like this game as much anymore either. Considering I have major problems with the game, which I can get into in a separate video when I feel like it. But all I gotta say is this: this is a okay update. The new additions to grappling weapons are interesting. That there's the weak ones which are very easy to craft, and then there's some other ones that are more challenging to craft, and then there's the really good ones, which one being absolutely difficult to craft, while one being more challenging to craft. Some of the crafting weapons are good, some of them are fun, at least one of them is, and then there are ones that are just straight up powerful. Particularly the one where you have to get the chroma gun by simply killing one of the harder bosses. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm Boo Cyber Studios. Peace out, everyone.